Good day, everyone, and thank you for being here with me, Nuala Taylor with Transform Your Life, you Under Reconstruction. I am the Gamer Hippie, and I am here to help you to find your happy, no matter what that means for you. And today, that means that I'm going to be sharing with you something that's really important, especially for this period of time, during this year, during this season, and with current events that are going on. I want to talk about the importance of choice. So what does that mean? What are we going to get into it? And 3 things that you should be aware of in order to maximize this time and be able to utilize that amazing power that you have right now. So let's get to it. Show reel. Welcome back. So I said we were going to talk about choice, and that is exactly what we're going to do. And, you know, a lot of people are like, well, I have choices, you know, or I don't have any choices. And you might have limiting beliefs to where you think you have no choice or where you're stuck in a situation. And been studying the book. Lots of John Maxwell books are like amazing. But the last one that I've been studying is the, besides No Limits, because I have another study group for that, but I have been taking about a year to deep dive into the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. And one of the quotes actually comes from another author, author Dennis Waitley. And it says, "A sign of wisdom and maturity is when you come to terms with the realization that your decisions cause your rewards and consequences. You are responsible for your life, and your ultimate success depends on the choices that you make." And I absolutely agree with that. And I love that you can look at this and look at development and look at spirituality in a way that's not threatening to someone who, subscribes to religion. Because what that author just talked about, who was a Christian, actually, and what he's trying to impart to you is that you need to take personal responsibility for your choices. Once you understand that you have this power to shift your thinking, your emotions, your choices, and that every single moment is a choice that you make, and you can take responsibility for that, then you can actually take control of the direction of where your life is going to go. And that means accepting the suck. That means accepting that the reason why you're in your situation is because of the choices that you've made. And for a lot of people, that is not an easy thing. In fact, for a lot of people, they would just rather not deal with that right now, right? It's so easy to try and find every possible excuse outside yourself for why you are in the position you are, for why you may be the person that you are, right? For why you've made some decisions that maybe have put you in a situation that you're not happy with. You have to accept be personally responsible for the part that you played in it. You are on this planet with a whole bunch of other creators. So I understand that your intentions, your energies, your actions are going to intersect with other people's. Got it. That is a given. However, no one takes away your ability to choose. Even if you choose not to act, that's literally still a choice. So, how do we go about those, right? There's 3 things to remember when you're about to make a choice, or like when you're learning to finally take responsibility for the situation that you're in, for the actions that you've taken, the mindset that you happen to be in. There's 3 ways to help you move from not being, having this limiting mindset that you have no choice, or that you are not responsible for every choice that you've ever made, to being completely aware of it, and since you're aware of it now, can make better changes, right? So the first one is the hardest, right? Because you cannot change anything unless you know that there's an issue, correct? I mean, true is true. So when we sit down with ourselves, you don't have to do this with other people. Some people actually need guidance to do this. So there are people out there who can mentor you and guide you through this process, just to not just help you with the understanding of it and not just support you while you're going through it, but really keep you accountable to make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. So the first thing is you have to suck it up. If you know that a specific decision that you made put you in that situation, it's going to be super simple to start finding everything outside yourself to point the finger at someone else, to blame everything on the reason why I made this decision was. Of course, we always have, like, why we made a decision, right? Why we made a specific choice. Because we sit there and we try to convince ourselves, right? We justify what we're doing. We justify the decisions that we're making. We justify how we treat other people or how we treat ourselves. And really, you need to understand what a situation is, and, you know, whether or not, no matter what the justification was for it, if the outcome did not come, you know, is not what you wanted and didn't go in the direction that you wanted, take responsibility for that too, right? It's easy to be happy about doing well and like, yes, I did that. That was me. Everyone look at me, praise me, yay me, right? I love myself. But when it's something bad, it's like all of a sudden we don't want to accept that about ourselves. So when someone else, because some people do that too, because they're either, they love you and they're friends and they're coming from a place of love and they're letting you know that, you know, the reason why you are in your situation is because the choices you made, and you might get upset and pissed off because that is not what you want to hear. You want people to tell you it's okay and to commiserate with you. But really, being responsible for your choices is also being responsible for your energy and your growth, right? When you share and you complain, when you complain and you hem and you haw and you're just want to tell everybody how horrible things are or how bad a situation is or how much of a hard time you're having, you know, there are two things that you're actually doing that you are not aware of. One, you are letting people know that you are unhappy and that you wish your situation was different. Two, you're taking all the negativity that you've created in your life and all of the emotional angst that's created for you, and you're trying to give that to other people, right? So part of being responsible for our choices is being aware that something needs to be fixed, and being aware that the decisions that we made, that is our responsibility, right? If you want to use the word fault, and I really don't like that word, if the fault is anybody's, it is yours. But really, it's not a fault. It's just a decision. And you can make other decisions that are better, right? Now that you know better. It's a learning experience. So when you find out that something that you did actually, and you're aware that something that you did put you in this position, you know, don't get upset at yourself. Do not beat yourself up, right? Awareness is the hardest part of the process, right? The second part of that, we're still on number one. The second part of that process is not just being aware of it, but accepting. And accepting is hard, right? Accepting that what you did led you to this place, that the decision that you made went against what your core motive is, where you want to be, the creature of love and light that you are. When you go against that and create a situation for yourself that is unwanted and does not make you happy, yeah, it's hard to accept that that it was something that you did. But once you become aware and you accept it and you acknowledge that this is your responsibility, you actually create the next step. to where we can go now to step 2, right? And going now to step 2 is being able to look everything with clarity. Like once you're aware of the situation that you're in, right? And it could be any situation. Could involve a decision that you made, could be involve choices that you made, or some kind of discord that you have with another person. It doesn't matter what it is. Once you're aware and you can acknowledge that this is something of your creation, then you can move on to accepting and find this middle ground. So this middle ground we're talking about that gets you from point A to B, right? It's basically just acceptance. And acceptance, it's really hard because when we make these very bad decisions, usually we're in a place of high emotion. And whenever your emotions are high, intelligence plummets, like intelligence is low. No one can make a good decision when they're in their feels. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work that way. And it goes on both sides of the spectrum. When you're heavy into your negative, your negative emotions and your negative mindset, you are definitely not going to make a good decision. But a lot of times also, when you're in the higher vibrations of love, right? Love is actually a chaos state. So there are lots of times when we're in this in love state that we also make very bad decisions. and that's why, you know, that phrase they use, crazy in love, it for real is crazy in love. It's a chaos state. You are going to create all kinds of things in this chaos state, and you are not going to have very good control over the outcomes of those things. I mean, I think that's one of the reasons why we have such wonderful diversity on this planet, is because when we engage in things that create other people, that's a chaos state. So it's literally like rolling a million-sided dice and find out what comes out, right? So accepting is the second stage, because when we accept that this is ours and we can detach from the emotion that created for us, the emotion that created that situation, the emotion that led to that decision, right? And a lot of it has to do with your mindset as well. When you can pull back, like literally mentally take a step back from yourself after you're aware of your responsibility for this decision you made, and you can acknowledge that, yes, I did make this decision and this is what led me to be in this spot. And you can accept that you made that decision. Then you can detach yourself from the emotion that belongs to that decision or the situation that you don't like. Once you detach yourself from it, and then you can look at it with clarity, right? Not just with logic. Logic is absolutely necessary. But logic tempered by your heart is called clarity. And that's what we want. That's what makes great decisions, is clarity. You want to be able to see clearly what has happened to you in your past, what your role was in it, and where you want to go next, right? Clearly see the paths lined out before you. And then the last thing is knowing that you are responsible for everything that happens to you and every way that you choose to react to every responsibility. The environment that you're creating around yourself with every single decision that you make. Now you can go into the third step, right? And when you have clarity and you go into the third step, you can clearly see what could come out of this situation. Now, a lot of people are like, you can't look at it like you can't see the future, or that's psychic, or your brain has the amazing ability to see the past that lay before you. When you look at things from clarity, you can see probability. Probability is what people are thinking is staring at the future. But everyone has the ability to do this. When you can look at things with clarity, you can clearly see before you all the things that might happen, good or bad. Right? Moms do this all the time. we see a situation begin, or we see a behavior begin, and we almost always can tell where it's going to lead if that continues in that direction. You know, it's not seeing the future. It's your brain has figured out probability. You've done this, you've seen this, you understand, and you can see it with clarity because it's not about you. It's about the safety and concern for someone else. So there's key for you, right? That of course you're here to live the most amazing experience and to be able to live, you know, in everything that you want to do, to learn to be happy and to learn to enjoy life and to be in a place of peace, right? To have all your needs met. This is what we're here for, to experience all things, bad and good. But when you do experience all these things, you can start to allow, and you can see everything with clarity now. You can see where things are going to lead. And although it's easier for the mind, because, you know, we still have lizard brain back here, it's meant to protect us and to keep us safe. So it will show you all the bad possibilities first, right? I challenge you during this third portion of what you're supposed to go through. So after you're aware that you are personally responsible for everything that happens to you, right? Choice. And then after you acknowledge it and you can accept that, when you get to step back and detach yourself from the emotion or that mindset that put you there so you can see with clarity. And then look at the paths before you on where you would like to go next. But instead of focusing on where your decision or the decision that you're going to make might take you in a negative direction, focus on the positive. Because what you focus on expands. And if part of the reason why you've stayed inside a situation that you don't like is because you've concentrated on it so much, that's, you know, there's your sign. But what you focus on expands. Anything you focus on. Anything in the social media, anything on the news, anything you focus on, you give that power. So take that theory, right? Take that pattern and apply it to your life. Choose to focus on what grows you. Choose what to focus on that's going to bring you happiness and joy, right? Make those decisions and shoot out those rockets of desire so that you can, you know, let God, let the universe know that this is what I want. This is what I desire. I desire to have this in my life because I want to experience absolute happiness. You know, I want to be financially free. I want to be, spend more time with my family. I want to be time free. Right? I want to figure out systems that work for me and a business that I can do that goes with who I am and what I care about, right? No matter what it is, choose to only focus on the things that are positive. They're going to bring you in the direction of the stuff that you want in your life, right? Things that are going to attract into your life, because it's all about, totally all about just being present, creating that desire, feeling how it's going to feel like, because you already have it in your life, really, and then attracting that goal, that final goal, into your life. So thank you for spending time with me. I really appreciate it every time I have somebody like it and subscribe and hit that notification bell, because it means so much to me that you are here working on yourself, that you are willing to be a more positive person, that you're willing to start taking personal responsibility for what is happening in your life and where you want to go from now. And it makes me happy to know that you are in a place where you're ready to accept that and you're making massive change, right? You are doing it. You are doing the work. And I want to congratulate you on being on this path. And I want to show you gratitude, because as you increase yourself, as you grow your awareness, as you improve your life, and as you pursue personal development, you're actually lifting up everyone around you, including everyone on this planet, because we are all connected. And I love you, my brothers and sisters. I want you to have an amazing day. Please remember choice, right? So be aware, acknowledge it, accept it, detach, and step back so that you can look at it from clarity, and then look at all the possible paths before you on the decision that you may make, and focus on the positives that that's going to bring for you. So much love, much aloha, much light to everyone. Please don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and, you know, leave me a comment. I really like creating content that's going to help you in your development, that's going to help you to elevate yourself and to elevate your family and to give you the ability to contribute beyond yourself. Right? So please leave me comments down below in what will help you to do that, so that I can create those videos and content for you to help you find your happy, no matter what that means for you. Thank you so much, and namaste.